How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a super powerful SMG DPS setup that you guys can be using right now in Back 4 Blood. But before we get into that, if you're new here to the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in the deck building menu in Back 4 Blood. This is going to be the complete deck list, so if you guys are just looking to copy and paste the deck, now is your time to do so. But for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to be talking about what role every card plays in the deck and just everything like that. Now, as far as the game plan, or, what you're going to be trying to be doing when you're using this deck, is you're just going to be trying to lay out as much damage as humanly possible, because this is just like a straight up DPS deck. And I know, like, usually SMG decks, they have stuff like mobility cards in here, but this deck in particular does not really have any mobility cards in it, because I decided to kind of trim up on the mobility aspect of the SMGs and just really try to focus down on the damage output that the deck can put out and the reload speed, because I do think that what the SMGs lack for and just straight up damage you can make up for, and just the mobility that they have from being smaller weapons and their reload speed that we get from the cards in the deck. Alright, so moving on to our first category, which is going to be weak spot damage, we have Hyper Focused, which is going to give us plus 50% weak spot damage and minus 40% move speed while shooting or melee attacking as the downside. And usually that downside is super crippling to this card and makes it so we can't really use it, especially in a category like SMGs where we really value mobility. We don't really want a card that makes it so we go almost half as fast as we normally do when we're shooting. But that's why we have Hellfire in the deck, which gives us plus 45% move speed while we're firing and plus 3% move speed while we're not firing. So while Hellfire doesn't actually do anything for weak spot damage, it is in the weak spot damage category because it is used to balance out the downside on Hyper Focused. I do think that Hyper Focused is just like so strong that it's worth 2 card slots, and it makes it so like the downside doesn't even exist on this card anymore. Up next, we have Reckless Strategy, which is going to give us plus 30% weak spot damage and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. Up next, we have Front Sight Focus, which is going to give us plus 20% accuracy and plus 10% weak spot damage and plus 15% aim speed. And to wrap up this category, we have Knowledge is Power, which is going to give us plus 10% weak spot damage, and it allows players to see values for damage they deal and enemy health bars. So when you add up all these weak spot damage cards together, it is going to be giving us the full 100% weak spot damage. And the reason that I decided to play Front Sight Focus and Knowledge is Power instead of Ridden Slayer, even, just to save a card slot, is because I think that the extra value that we get on these two cards outside of their weak spot damage is more than what Ridden Slayer plus like another card at random could do. Like, I just don't think another card with how this SMG deck is set up specifically could get more value than 20% accuracy, 15% aim speed, and we can see the health bars on all the specials. Alright, moving on to our next category, which is just going to be base damage, and to start that category off, we have Shredder, which says each bullet hit causes the target to take 1% increased damage for 3 seconds, stacking up to 15%. Up next, we have Patient Hunter, which says every 0.5 seconds we ADS, it increases our bullet damage by 10%, up to 3 stacks. Next, we have Large Caliber Rounds, which is going to give us plus 7.5% bullet damage and plus 200% bullet penetration. Up next, we got Silver Bullets, which is going to give us plus 10% bullet damage and plus 15% effective bullet range. And to round this category off, we have Line 'em Up, which is going to give us plus 10% effective bullet range, plus 15% recoil control, and plus 25% bullet penetration and aim speed. Now, as far as like why I chose like these cards specifically, as far as like the DPS like cards go, these are just like the best 5 in the game, and I just don't think that you can do a clean 1-for-1 swap with literally any other card in the game and get more value than these cards in from like a DPS perspective. So, and these cards, pretty much hit all the bases that you want from like your base damage cards anyway. Like, we have Shredder and Patient Hunter, which are going to make our base bullet damage just, way higher than what we need it to. And we have Large Caliber Rounds and Silver Bullets, which fix, some of the problems that SMGs have. You obviously need things like bullet penetration so that, we don't get stonewalled by all the common infected. And with SMGs not having as big of a magazine, by default, the extra bullet penetration really helps. And they also don't have the furthest effective bullet range by default either, so that's why Silver Bullets is really good in this deck too. And Line 'em Up's just an all-star because it does everything. It gives us effective bullet range and bullet penetration, which are 2 effects that we're literally just playing cards just to have. And on top of that, it also gives us extra aim speed and recoil control. And moving on to the next category, which is going to be reload speed. And to start this category off, we have Speed Demon, which is going to give us plus 4% move speed while we're using an SMG, and plus 35% reload speed while we're using an SMG. Up next, we have Ammo Belt, which is going to give us plus 50% ammo capacity and plus 15% reload speed. Next, we have Cold Brew Coffee, which is going to give us plus 15% reload speed and plus 25% aim speed, weapon swap speed, and use speed. And to round this category off, we have Wide Mouth Magwell, which is going to give us plus 30% reload speed and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. So when you add up all of these together, we are going to be getting plus 95% reload speed. And like I said, you know, way back in the beginning of the video, like that's one of the things that I really wanted to hammer down in this deck was the reload speed. But you don't want to go over 100% with reload speed because there are certain categories in the game that if you go over 100%, it actually starts to negatively affect you, and reload speed is one of those. And another reason I was so okay with playing so many different reload speed cards is because only one of them actually only gives me reload speed, and every other, you know, reload speed card that we have in the deck is actually accruing some value in some other way. Like Speed Demon is giving us, you know, just a little bit more move speed. Ammo Belt is giving us extra ammo capacity, which SMGs actually really like, because if you're using something like the Vector, you can actually run out of ammo just really quick. And Cold Brew Coffee just has a whole other list of things it does for us outside of reload speed. So even though we have a lot of cards dedicated to the reload speed, you know, like category, we're still accruing a lot of other value outside of just reloading the gun faster. And the last card in the deck to round everything off is going to be Grenade Pouch, which is going to give us plus 1 offensive inventory and plus 25% swap speed. Now, the reason that I decided to throw this in just as the last 15th card in the deck is because I do find it that sometimes it is hard as an SMG player to take on things like, you know, tall boys, you know, or crushers, just enemies that have like a lot of HP that, you know, can take a while to kill. And I do find it very helpful to be able to carry 2 frag grenades on me and just, you know, be able to bail myself out of basically any situation that I have, because we're not going to struggle with things like common or the small HP special infected. The only things that are really going to give us problems are, you know, the things like Reekers, tall boys, slashers, stuff that has a lot of HP and tries to run directly at you. And when you have Grenade Pouch and you just have 2 frags, that becomes like a lot less of a problem. Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below telling me any deck changes that you guys would make, and as always, if you happen to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you guys in the next video.